Guys, one of the big things, guys, is I don't know how many of you guys function on faith at all. And I'm not like one of these guys, and you guys know me. Guys, I'm a little loose around the edges, right? I use a little bit of profanity. I use it as an exclamation point. I never do use it in a demising way. But what I do use is I use a lot of profanity as an exclamation point, a point of excitement. Okay. But one thing that I know about a lot of people is they don't function on faith. And the one thing that's got me from point A to point Z, and this has everything to do with what we're doing, is that I have functioned on faith my whole life. I've told this story a couple of times before. When I was a kid, my mom always used to tell us, right? Like we grew up traditional Catholics. And when I was a kid, my mom would always tell us, she's like, look, she goes, every Sunday you go to church. God gives to you every day of the week, and every moment of every day. And you can't give 1 hour back to God just to thank him for the week. And my mom's whole thing was like, even if you don't pay attention, right? Like, so it didn't matter. Like, even when I was in high school and we would go out and sometimes we were doing a lot of what we weren't supposed to be doing, right? That's what high school kids do. I'm in that phase with my son right now. He's a good kid, not nearly the crazy kid I was. Thank God. And I've always just functioned on faith when we've ran our businesses. And so one of the big things is that it helped me in business because I went through a lot of ups and downs. And one thing I know about a lot of people, whether you're doing well financially or you're struggling financially, one of the things that I know about almost every single person in here is you have stuff going on in your life. And it's stuff that if you don't address and you have no faith, you're never going to get to the finish line. You're going to get interrupted and distracted by problems. And I've always wondered why people have so many problems. And it's amazing that the reason that most people have problems is because they build problems in their mind. And so I tell you guys, as we run through this today, 90% of you guys that fail will be because you have mental setbacks. 85 to 90% of success is here. It's mental. And a lot of it is fear. And the other one is self-doubt and disbelief in yourself. Has nothing to do with the formula. Like, people will make saying, well, if you can get rich doing this, why isn't everybody doing it? Well, because most people, one, first and foremost, are lazy. But are they really lazy or are they scared, right? Like, that's the big question. All right, get my muscle again. Um, and so I think that most people are just scared. And I think that a lot of people are lazy and they have this self-entitlement thing that goes on in today's real world that they believe they're worth more than they are, even if they're not. I never had that. My parents raised me that you perform first, you get paid second. So this is real business, guys. This isn't like some get rich quick NFT bullshit that's going to come, go, and disappear. This isn't cryptocurrency that when we first came in, you mass fortunes and then it crashes and then it goes up again and it crashes and there's all kinds of volatility. This is just real business. And it's building homes, guys. Like you walk outside and people are like, oh, I'm skeptical. I'm like, really? Well, there's like thousands of homes being built outside. Like, what are you skeptical about? Like, if there wasn't money in it, they wouldn't be publicly traded companies. If there wasn't money in it, there wouldn't be people building, right? So my whole thing is like, how do you mitigate risk and um, how do you mitigate the high risk and how do you increase your profitability, right? And that's the big thing. Now, for those of you guys that are fix and flipping, you guys won't want to fix and flip after this. Once you do one build, you'll never want to fix and flip ever again. I did the fix and flip thing to keep my crews busy back in the days, and I took it in the shorts on every single one of them in 2008. We either broke even, or which means you lost money because you lost time, and one thing that's irreplaceable is time. So lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, don't get caught up on the small stuff. It seems easier because there's a structure there and it's tangible and you can touch it and you can feel it. And you're going, oh, well, fix and flip looks easier because there's already a house there. It's bullshit, guys. Once you tear back the walls, there's variables, heating and cooling variables, plumbing variables, electrical variables. There's all kinds of variables that are unforeseen. There's sewer lines that don't work, water lines that don't work, air conditioners that don't work, landscaping you didn't account for, tile work you didn't account for, bathtubs that you didn't account for, all kinds of stuff that you didn't account for. And then all of a sudden you take a $30,000 profit and it gets compressed. And you try to still get that $30,000 profit and it sits on the market for an ongoing period of time. Maybe you get it on some of them you don't. And so the thing is what if you can control the variables, ladies and gentlemen? Like, what if you can come in and control your variables? And that way, every time you do something, it's the exact same thing. Like when you walk into a McDonald's, for example, anytime they open a McDonald's, Do they have to start all over again, figuring out exactly how to make that hamburger? Or every time you walk into a McDonald's, is it the exact same bun, the exact same patty, the exact same sesame seeds, and the exact same 3 little squirts of ketchup with the same 3 little pickles? No matter where you go in the world, guys, like if you go to China, you get the same damn McDonald's hamburger. If you go to Australia, same McDonald's hamburger. No matter where you go in the world, ladies and gentlemen, you get the same hamburger. And so it's the system, it's the process that works. And same thing with building homes. So today we're going to go over exactly what that looks like. Okay. Now there's a business model. And when I got into the franchise business, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that Fred DeLuca came and met me, and some of you guys have heard this story before. I was one of the largest Subway franchisees in the Southwest for an ongoing period of time, about a decade, or maybe just shy of. And Fred DeLuca, I was taking these stores that were broken down, right? Stores that have been open for 13 years. And we would go in and buy these stores. They'd be doing about $4,000 to $5,000 per week in gross revenue. So not a lot of money. When you think food, labor, these stores were losing money. But I would buy them at such a discounted price, you couldn't build the stores for what I was buying them for. So I was sweeping them up. But I got these stores in less than 60 days to do over $9,000 a week in revenue. And when you're buying multiple stores that you're not supposed to be buying because the franchise rules say you can't, and you do, what ends up happening, ladies and gentlemen, is you get the founder's attention. Because one, who's this guy that's buying more stores than we're supposed to be buying? And then two, who's this guy that's buying stores that he's not supposed to be buying, but yet freaking crushing it with every single store? And the answer was me. It was me. And I was taught by my mentor years ago. When you find somebody who has what you want in life and they have a system, duplicate it. Don't complicate it. Just duplicate it. And so I told Fred, I was friggin' busy losing my mind in 2008 because I had retail centers that I had built that I didn't have friggin' tenants for. I was going broke in my buildings, and banks were compressing on me. I was throwing trash can money at payments every single month. Bank money, bank money, bank money, bank money. And it sucked. And I was building houses. I was pouring concrete, building houses, pouring concrete to just take that money and throw it back to the bank. And then I said, screw this. I started putting Subway stores and beauty salons in my own buildings. And so I didn't have a lot of time. So I knew I had to do this, ladies and gentlemen. So as I go through this today, understand what I did, because I'm telling you guys to do the exact same thing. I looked at every franchise in town, from Haagen-Dazs, from Smash Burgers. I was supposed to be the Panera franchisee in New Mexico before Panera was here. They didn't come to New Mexico till 2010. I was going to be the one that brought them here. They wanted a 4-store commitment, and every store was like $2.6 million, and it was a 24-hour-a-day operation. I said, don't want to do it. So I picked Subway because it was the fastest growing franchise in the world, and it had surpassed McDonald's, and they had a system, and it was a system that was duplicatable. So I said, perfect. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I'm going to take Fred DeLuca's system, and I'm going to model right after it. So I went to Connecticut and spent 2 weeks down there when my son was born. And I had to leave my newborn son for 2 full weeks to go learn this system. And believe you me, ladies and gentlemen, I left my business, I left my wife, I left my son, and I went for 2 weeks. And I said, if I'm leaving for 2 friggin' weeks, I'm going to make it worth my time every damn moment. I learned that system inside out. And every damn day I was like, okay, what's the difference between a good store and a bad store? What's the difference between a store that's making a lot of money and one that sucks outside of location? Okay. Now, outside of location, what is it that makes a difference? They were like, well, the quality of the bread. Okay. So I got that out of this. And then he said, you got to use the throughput system. And then everything came back to systems and processes. And so I came back and I learned, I said, you know what? Customer service. I already knew that. That was customer service. And the biggest mistake most people make is they market, and they continue marketing. You market to retain customers. Once you market, you retain a customer, you keep that customer for life. You don't go out and continue marketing for brand new customers and lose the other ones. You keep them and you market for new. You keep those and you market for new. You keep all those, and you market for more. And you just keep growing, right? That's how you market. And that's how I built these businesses. Now, today, it's the exact same thing. I'm going to teach you guys how to go in and now build a duplicatable system, okay? Here's the business model. We go in, we don't focus on competing with the medium builders, guys. We don't compete with D.R. Horton. We don't compete with Lennar. We don't compete with D.R. Horton and Pulte and all these other guys. We go in and we compete and work just above them, Okay, we focus on the upper 24% of our demographics, the upper 24% of money earners. These are the upper middle class. So we focus on the upper 24% of home buyers. Still constitutes for hundreds of thousands of home buyers every single year. These are the people like our moms and dads, our grandparents, people that are like us that are doing more affluent things at a young age that have more financial affluency. Our parents who have worked a 30-year career, they put money aside, they pay down their mortgage, they sell their home, they buy and upgrade into one, their dream home, their last home, or whatever it is. They're empty nesters, and now they're going in and they have a little bit more logic, they have a little bit more sophistication, and these are our upper sophisticated buyers. They're not wealthy. They're not buying multi-million-dollar homes because in a market compression, ladies and gentlemen, the first sector of real estate that gets hit is the median home buyer. So when you're looking at stats and you're looking at the mean, you're looking at stats that predominantly account for the average home buyer, which constitutes for actually 74% of home buyers. Okay, the median is 74. And then there's the two, which are the wealthy people in the United States. Okay, the 2%, the upper 2%. Now, that's why we don't focus on multi-million-dollar homes. We segregate that out because those people, when the market crashes, people that think they're wealthy aren't wealthy, and that's where you land up losing your ass. That's where you go bankrupt. If you compete with the medium buyers, and most people that are sitting here going, Jerome, I just want to play it safe because if I just do a little smaller, it'll just be a little safer, and I just want to play it safe on my first little build. I just want to play it safe, Jerome. And I'm going, that's risky. Don't play it safe your way. Play it safe my way. My way, it friggin' works. I've never lost money on one house. Even in the 2008 recession, I still made money. Worst house I ever did because I fire sold it, $48,000. Second worst house, $52,000 profit. And I fire sold those ones to get rid of them. I thought I lost money because I just wanted to get rid of inventory. And lo and behold, when my accountant called me and told me I owed taxes on those homes, I was like, shit. And I was like, shit, that was bad that I owed taxes. But I was like, damn, that's good. Like I gotta hone in on this business model. And that's where this came from, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so what is this? This is homes in excess of $500,000. Okay. Now, you want to build between 500,000 and less than 1 million. Okay, and less than 1 million. Now, there's a couple markets that are exceptions to that. In California, Seattle, Oregon, Salt Lake City, Utah, Miami. There's a few markets that you can get up to like 1.2 million, but you don't want to harvest over there because then once you get into past that, now you're not hitting the upper median anymore. Now, this is where you want to be. Now, some people are sitting back going, Jerome, I don't even live in a house. I live in a friggin' trailer, an apartment, or whatever it is. I can't afford that. And I'm going, look, follow the process here, guys. When I first got started, I didn't have the money either. I had a 420 credit score. My credit was trashed because I had done business. We went out of business by the FTC in 1997. And in 1998, my credit was trashed. 26 lines of bad credit. Didn't have a lot of money, had a lot of energy, and I had a lot of a great work ethic and a lot of skills that I got in sales from 1993 to 1997 that I took with me. There's one thing that you'll never get taken from you, and that's wisdom. That's knowledge, ladies and gentlemen, that you own forever. So as you run through this today, appreciate the fact that you guys have knowledge that you guys are gaining from what we're doing, okay? And the best thing is, ladies and gentlemen, is at the end of this, how many of you guys would love the opportunity to come in and work with my team and I? How many of you guys would love to come in and work with my team and I when we're done with this today and learn how to do this? How many of you guys would love to have a community that you guys can come into and you guys can be around hundreds of people across the United States that are actually doing the exact same thing that you guys are here to learn to do? How many of you guys think that when you have a bad day and you guys reached out to somebody that was part of that community, how many of you guys think you guys could get a lot more done and you guys can get your brain stabilized better if you had a community that you guys had the ability to be around if you guys had a really tough day or if you made a mistake, if you screwed something up? What better way to fix it than to go to a community that's doing the exact same thing that you're doing and position yourself to be able to ask questions, humble yourself to win, you know, and be able to position yourself where you don't feel like a jackass for making a mistake because everybody in that group has made mistakes and everybody's there to help you. Okay. So at the end of this, you guys are going to have an opportunity to do that. Okay. And what I always like telling people is people ask, Jerome, is there an investment to do that? I'm like, yeah. I mean, I don't know what school you guys have ever went to, university, that there's not an investment. And so at the end of this, you guys are going to do it. And there's going to be two different ways you guys are going to be able to work with us. We're going to be able to bring everybody into our community with what we do. Now, in part of that, guys, how many of you guys would love to spend a full day live, in person, not on behind a screen like this, but in person? How many of you guys would love to spend a full day with me, my team, and a few of my colleagues for a full day in Dallas in June? How many of you guys think that would serve you well, learning how to underwrite and understand this in depth, more so than today? And how many of you guys think would love to be able to learn how to scale this into some of the multifamily that I was showing you guys earlier on the screen? That was my screenshot. In fact, Steven, right above us, has it right up on his screenshot up there as well. Okay, we'll teach you guys that stuff. We're going to spend a whole day in June working on that together. Okay, now let's talk about money for a second, because this is the business model. Now, how do you get into this? And then I'm going to break this down on where the profits come from. Now, how you guys get into this is a multitude of different ways. And as I work with you guys, one of the things to best understand is that there's multiple ways to get money to do this. The best way is to be able to put a set of blueprints together. This is a commercial project, but this is money, guys. This is equivalent to money from your lender, okay? This actually has to do with my West Camelback project. This is a $70 million build, okay? Now, this set of plans is worth about $50 million in lending right here, okay? Because they're not lending to you, they're lending on the asset that they can appraise, the bank is. So they may not lend to you to do this, but they'll lend for you to build this. Investors may not invest in you without a business plan or a business model. Like if you go to the bank and you go, Mr. Banker, can I get a construction loan for a home? And they're sitting back going, do you have any experience? And you go, no, I don't have any experience. And guess the first thing they're going to tell you? They're going to tell you no. Now, if you go to the lender and you go, hey, Mr. Banker, can I get a loan on this right here? This is a real project that has real tangibility. Now, the appraiser can unfold these. These are attached to a lot. And you're going, this is what I need a loan on, Mr. Lender. And they go, great, let's send this off to our appraisement team and let's get an appraisal on this compared to other assets just like this in the market. So we're going to teach you guys how to find the right piece of land. But first, we're going to teach you the business model, because you don't find land. What you do is you find a business model first. When you find a location that supports your business model, the land you find second. Most people are out there like a chicken without a head looking for land all over the friggin' place. And they're like, is this the right land? Is this the right land? No, the answer is no. First, you find a business model. You find an area that supports our business model. Once you find that area that supports our business model, ladies and gentlemen, then you get a set of prints that supports the comps in that area. Then when you take it to your lender will appraise it based on those comps and based on what you have here to support what's in that area. Then this is what they give a loan on right here, okay? And we teach you guys how to hire contractors, get the experience, because most of you guys don't have it, and we teach you guys how to do all that stuff. And for some of you guys might need hard money lenders. You guys might not have the credit to do that, or you guys might not have the cash flow ability to offset the debt, and that's okay too, because you're going to have to give a little piece of the pie away at first for some of you guys in order for your barrier of entry to be able to go over, just like I did. Okay, but we'll teach you how to do that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we'll teach you guys how to do that. Now, just know that there's a means to all of this. Miranda is up in Santa Fe, and when she got started, her finances were jacked up. And so she went to a hard money guy, and he goes, I'll lend you 100% of the money to build your first home, but I want 50% of the profit. So she actually partnered with him. She made $260,000 gross net, and she gave 130 to him. She kept 130. Okay. She kept him for the first 4 builds. She gave him over $500,000 in profits, guys, of her profit. $500,000. That's expensive debt. But she also made over $500,000 in less than 2 years. How many of you guys are willing to give up 50% of your profit to a hard money lender that'll get you in the game if you're still making 6 figures doing it? How many of you guys would do that? Okay. Now she's on her 6th build, and now she's making over $250,000 net herself. But that was her barrier of entry. So some of you guys might have to do that, but that's okay. Now, where does the money come from? Let's take a look at this. Okay. Now, I like going into demographic areas. What cities do we have on here, guys? Give me some of the cities that you guys live in. Instead of me just doing it for my area, let's look at some of your cities. What are some of the cities that are on here? Okay, Dallas, Texas. We're doing a lot in Dallas, so I'm going to skip Dallas right now. Albuquerque's easy because we do that. Nashville, Phoenix. Phoenix, we're in those markets. Let's see. Let's do something that's kind of a crazy city that no one's like really thinking about. Los Angeles, McKinney, Texas, Chicago. Damn, you guys all over the place. Alamogordo. Okay, Huntsville. Man, they're going too fast. Vancouver, Seattle, Miami, Columbus, Richmond, Virginia, Minneapolis, Minnesota, St. Louis, Fairfax, Virginia. Damn, we got people everywhere. That's awesome. Pensacola. Hey, let's do Florida. Pensacola. Florida's growing. Um, Alberta, Atlanta. Shit, we got people everywhere. Pensacola. Let's do like Pensacola, Florida. Because Pensacola, Florida is one of those markets that's not really affluent. It's like a military town. And I think this can relate to the vast majority of the United States. Let's take Pensacola, Florida. Okay. Now, I'm going to do this on my cell phone, guys, so that you guys know I'm getting the data right from here. Now, I'm going to pull up either like Zillow or Redfin. Let's just use Redfin because Redfin has actually been working better than Zillow lately. And let's look at like the comps. Okay. So now remember, we're looking for a business model first, right? That fits this. And then I'm going to underwrite this thing for you guys. So let's and show you guys where the money actually come from. So let's go Pensacola, Florida. Redfin, Pensacola, Florida. Okay, so we'll go Google it. We'll go to Redfin right here. Okay, now, shit, I should screen share with you guys really quick, but then these guys can't see. Okay, I'll just do it like this because you guys can see, you guys can see, you guys can see. Okay, so we'll do it like this. Now, we're I'm going to do Pensacola. Pensacola. Okay, so we got Pensacola. Okay, so we got Pensacola, Florida. Now, when you guys go in and you guys are looking to be able to for filters, you don't want any filters on except for one. The one filter that you guys want on when you guys are building new is you want the filter that is just the year built because we want to comp this out to new homes. We don't want to be in an area with a bunch of old ass homes. Okay, so we want to go in here and let's put on our filter. So the filter that we want, the only filter, guys, square footage doesn't matter. Watch, I'll explain that here in a second. But square footage doesn't matter. Let's go into year built. Okay, year built, the minimum, let's do 2002 and let's go all the way to 2004. Okay, now there's 298 homes for sale in Pensacola, Florida that support homes that were built in 2002 to 2024. We don't care about price yet or any of that. Okay, now we go in, I want the map. Okay, so we have, okay, market inside city guide. Okay, I want the map. Now, shit, you know what, guys? Let's do it here. This better because this one is not giving me. Okay. Just like everything else, ladies and gentlemen, you guys ever have those days where none of your technology agrees with you? It's okay because every day ends and every day just continues going. I'm just blessed to be here, just like you guys. Okay, so so Redfin didn't work like that. Let's just go back into Redfin the traditional way. I'm just going into redfin.com instead of trying to do it through Pensacola. So we're on redfin.com. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is buy. Just click on buy. So if you go to buy, and then if you go to Pensacola, and of course it doesn't let me. Okay, Pensacola, Pensacola, Florida. Okay, so now we're going to Pensacola, Florida. Boom. This is what I was looking for. I was looking for this map. You see all those little green spots on there? That's what I'm looking for. Now, I'm going to put my only filter on. Now I'm going to go to my only filter that I'm going to put on, and that is the size of the year it was built. Okay, it's my filter's already in there. See, you guys see that 2022 to 2024. Okay, so it's 298 homes, and we got the entire Pensacola area. Now, all I'm looking for is all I care about is do I have homes that fit within this business model right here? That's all I care about. So if I see homes that are like 298, all that bullshit just goes to the garbage. Okay. So let's go in to an area That supports our business model right off the bat. Okay. Now, when we go into Pensacola, if we go down to downtown Pensacola doesn't have a lot of wealth down there, do they? Okay, so we got 719. Let's look at this house. Okay, this isn't bad. Okay, so this house, ladies and gentlemen, over at 1180 Intencia Street in Pensacola. It's a 4-bedroom house, $719,000. Okay, pretty simple build. Okay, it's that house right there. Now it's a 2,355 square foot home. Let's use that as a comp. Okay. Now, so if we go in, guys, and we have this 2,355 square foot home, 2,355. So square foot. So 2,300 square foot. Let's just call it 2,300 square foot home. Okay. Now, the sales price on that is $720,000. Okay. So the sales price, $720K. Okay. Now, okay. I always tell people, don't build homes over 2,700 square feet, because if you build homes over 2,700 square feet, ladies and gentlemen, they're what people desire, not what they need. Don't build what people want, build what they need. Build what, because you could build a nice 4-bedroom home at 2,300 square feet. They don't need a 2,800 square foot house. Now, if you're in Texas, or there's some exceptions to the market variables, you could build slightly bigger homes. But the vast majority of the United States, ladies and gentlemen, do not build over a 2,800 square foot house. Because if you do, now you're moving into luxury items. And in a market like today, when inflation is real, things are expensive, and families are trying to do nothing more than just make it and give a nice rooftop for their families, they don't buy what they want, they buy what they need, because they need that to raise their families. Would they love to have a 10,000 square foot house? Yes. Would they love to have a 4,000 square feet house? Yes. But do they need it? Is the question. And in any recessionary market, I tell them, no matter what the market is, don't get carried away, because at some point in time, the market is going to be volatile like it is today. So if you build in this business model, anytime, good market, bad market, you'll always sell your homes. Okay. Build what people need, not what they want. Build what they need, not what they want. Okay. Now, so we go in, we take this comp, okay, Pensacola, Florida. Now, ladies, for you guys in Pensacola, this is at 1180 in Indencia. I can't see. I need reading glasses, guys. Intencia Street in Pensacola, Florida. God, that thing is small. Okay, so 2,300 square feet, 3.5 bath, 4 bedrooms. Okay, we're going to build it exactly like everybody else is building it. Now, okay, so let's go in and let's function on that. Now, the land in this area, one thing that I know, because I have people building in Florida, is it's pretty inexpensive. You can buy a lot in these areas for between $60,000 and $80,000 in Florida. Now, I don't know about Pensacola. My assumption is if the houses are only selling for $720,000, the lots are selling for no more than $100,000 or lower. So let's take the higher end of that and not do 65, but let's say the land cost is $80,000. Let's even say it's $85,000. Okay, so if we say land, 85K. Now, this includes utilities, guys. That includes utilities. If the utilities aren't on there, you need to do what the utilities would cost you minus that off of the land price, okay? So if the land's $85,000, and this resale price is $720, we're going to keep an eye on this number right here, okay? We're going to need this multiple times, and we're going to need this multiple times, okay? Now, to find our cost, the average cost to build a home in the United States right now, according to the National Association of Home Builders, is $141 per square foot. Let's say that it costs us $150 a square foot to build a house in today's current market. So if it's 2,300 square foot and it's $150 a square foot, let's take that. Let's take $150 a square foot times 2,300 square feet. Okay, higher than the national average. Okay, so 2,300 times 150, that's $345,000 cost to build. That's your soft cost, that's your hard cost, that's all your utilities, that's everything. That's your full expense to build the entire house. Construction materials, labor, roofing, cabinets, everything, dirt work, everything fully stabilized. Okay, so land, so your build cost is going to be someplace in the neighborhood of $345,000. Okay. Now, one thing that I'll tell you guys right now is you guys got to be shopping bids. Right now, contractors have lost their friggin' minds. They're more expensive, almost 100% increase on some trades. And we're going in and we're readjusting all our subs. And now we're doing the exact same cost to build. What's cool is you guys have me building so I can vet this in the market. And I'm building in 3 different markets right now. Far northwestern, northern Pacific, in Seattle, Kirtland area, and Tacoma. We're also building over in Phoenix, Arizona. We're building here in New Mexico, and we have people that are building all over the United States. We're able to vet these costs all over the United States. And so we know these numbers are real. That's a nice friggin' home, guys. $150 a square foot, that's a damn nice home. Now, we got the cost to build. Now, we're going to have closing costs on this right here. Now, one thing that you guys will have is about a 7% closing cost. You're going to have 1% to the title company, 3% to the buyer's broker, 3% to the selling broker. For those of you guys that are brokers, you guys are going to have the ability to shed some of that off. That's why I became a broker. Because when we were building 12 homes a year, just do the math. That was over 6 figures in commissions that I was able to make back, put back into my business. So if we take $720,000, guys, so if we take $720,000 and you figure 7%, and look, guys, I'm underwriting. Some people are saying it's only 5%, it's only this, it's only that. Look, guys, I'm doing this super conservative. I'd rather under promise and then you guys make more. Okay. So if I under promise, you guys make more, you guys can sit back and say, yeah, Jerome's a superhero. Now, actually, you guys won't do that. You guys will sit back and go, oh, I'm a superhero. You pound your own chest. Jerome's just a dipshit that showed you this, right? So let me show you guys the reality of this. So now you go 720 times 0.07. Okay. 3% to the buyer's broker, 3% to the selling broker, 1% to title to be able to close out on that house. Okay. So your closing costs. You guys mind if we go a little bit extra? You guys, I wanted to keep this within an hour, hour and 15 minutes. We're probably going to be about an hour and 20 to an hour and 30 where we are right now. Now, we're not even an hour into this yet, guys, but I want to make sure we get through this today. Are you guys okay if I go a little longer, take a little bit more of your time, if I explain this in a little bit more depth? Are you guys okay with that? Okay, so let's make it happen, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so our closing costs are $50,400, okay? We got 50K in closing costs. I'm not going to worry about the $400. You're going to make that up someplace. Okay. So 50K. Now you're going to have some debt service on this. Now, construction money, you're going to be someplace in the neighborhood on your debt service, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to be someplace in the neighborhood of about 8% for construction money on single family residential homes. So let's say that you don't finance this. You only finance the land and you finance the build cost. Okay. Now, we actually execute this on a wholesale basis and we underwrite it to the banks on a retail basis. As you guys work with me, I'll explain to you guys in more depth what that means exactly to be able to get 100% of this money lent to you guys. Okay, there's a little trick to that we utilize in our build cost to be able to help you guys offset the down payment money and make this pencil financially so that you guys don't have to be as much out of pocket. Okay. Pause due to bad connection. Okay, now Instagram, you suck in all magnitudes right now. I'm just going to tell Instagram. Mark Zuckerberg, I saw you at the UFC fights this weekend. UMF, your Instagram sucks compared to all these other platforms. TikTok's kicking your ass. YouTube's kicking your ass. You guys are doing bullshit to us users. Listen, you guys are doing bullshit to us. Stop fucking with our accounts. That's all I got to say. Sorry, I just had to tell Mark Zuckerberg that. I just had to tell Instagram that. Okay? So just FYI, I'm just talking to Mark Zuckerberg over here. Saying, look, you MF, stop fucking with our accounts. We're your customers. We're spending 6 figures a month with you. Why are you a dipshit fucking with our accounts? Sorry. I had to just make that clear on every time I go live on Instagram and my account is doing funky stuff. I just have to make it a point to say that because I'm hoping that someplace, somehow they hear it because they keep shutting down all of our accounts, all of us influencers' accounts. Okay. So here we go, guys. We got 85K plus 345K. Okay, that's $430,000 times 8% times 0.08, okay, is $34,000. Now, it'll take you 6 months to build this, so it'll be half of that. But typical, they don't just lend you all the money at one time. It graduates as you do the bill. So it's typically 30% of your annualized amount is about the amount you're going to pay. That's even high as well. So we'll take times 0.30 for 30%. You're going to have about $10,000 in debt service. It'll actually be closer to about 8 or 9%. I mean, $8 or $9,000, but let's just call it about $10,000 in debt service. Okay. So we have debt service equals 10,000 bucks. Okay, so now I want to make sure you guys see. So our total cost, can you guys see all this? Yes, you guys can. Okay, so total cost. So total cost was 85,000 plus 345 plus 50,000 plus 10,000. It's 490. Hold on, let me make sure. 85,000 plus 345 plus 50 plus 10. Okay, that's $490,000. Okay, so it's $490,000. Now, so we take this 720 minus 490. This is our sales price. This is our total cost to build. Okay, so we take that minus 790, 720. That's $230,000. Okay. That's pretty realistic. But let's just say, ladies and gentlemen, I always want to over promise and I want to under promise and try to over deliver. Let's call this $160,000. Okay, net profit. Okay. Let's say that you guys have to pay a little bit more for your money. Let's say your land costs you a little bit more. Let's say that you guys are closer to $100,000. It's going to have to take $15,000 away from that right off the bat. Let's say that you have to give more than $10,000 away in debt service. Let's say that you guys got to partner with somebody and you got to give somebody $40,000, to finance your house. That's going to take from that right off the bat. So let's just go way low because there's going to be variables in here that are going to cost you guys more money on your very first build. And it's okay. This is your potential, but this is your reality potentially, right? And so are you guys okay if you have the ability to make 230, but because of circumstances and you're just trying to get in, if you have to give a little bit of your profit away to get in, are you guys okay making this by show of hands on your first couple builds? First 3, 4, 5 builds. You guys okay with that? Yeah. I think I heard one no. One no. They're like, no. I'm like, if it's a no, guys, then get your shit together. That's all I got to say. Get it together friggin' quick. For me, I'm sitting back going, this is life changing. Okay. And let me explain something to you guys. You have to look at this from the perspective of the average American person. Okay. I look at it from like my brother-in-law's perspective. I love them to death. And he set himself up and his family up really, really good doing this back in the late 1990s, early 2000s. And they just think about if you just did one home a year, guys, what would $160,000 of supplemental income do for you? Because you have to remember that, ladies and gentlemen, this is part-time. You go and get a frame. You don't go and get a chair and then there's framers framing your house all day and you don't sit down on the chair and take pictures and sit there all day, sip some coffee. I mean, what are you doing all day, right? It's not an 8-hour a day deal. Okay. It's a part-time deal. You go in, you spend 1 hour a week, 30 minutes to an hour, even if you went 5 days a week, and you do it 5 to 10 hours a week max. Okay. So it's a part-time deal. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep working. Now you have an exit, ladies and gentlemen. Now the job that you hate so much, all of a sudden, isn't so bad because now you have a secondary means of income. Okay. So let's take this 160. Okay. Now, you guys ready to see how to turn that $160,000 into $1 million in less than 3 years, step by step, month by month? You guys ready for that? Okay, are you guys ready? Okay, now these are abnormal results, ladies and gentlemen. A little disclaimer for the FTC and for everybody on here. 85% of you guys will fail. And the reason that 85% of you guys will fail, truth be told, is because it's a known statistic, guys. I didn't make that number up. It's just a real number. Okay. 85% of you guys will fail. And the reason why is because you'll never get started. There'll be limited beliefs and you guys won't get started. For those of you guys who have never watched one of my trainings, and I use this example that my mentor Bill told me. He goes, Jerome, he goes, when we were talking about this one day, and I was, he goes, you're trying to resurrect the dead. You're dragging dead bodies with ropes through the desert, trying to make these people wealthy in multi-level marketing back in the 90s. And he goes, stop dragging dead people through the body, through the desert. Work with the willing, work with the deserving and the willing, not the needy. Don't feed the needy, feed the willing. Work with the people that are willing to do it. And truth be told, 85% of you guys are like, wow, I want to do this, but never do shit. And my mentor Bill, he said, Jerome, I'm going to write a book. And when I write that book, it's going to be 150 pages. And when you open up the middle, it's going to be 150 pages. 49 pages are going to be blank. And right in the middle of that book, you know what it's going to say, Jerome? He goes, you know what it's going to say? That's the only thing people need to be successful. Right in the middle of that book, it's just going to be 4 words. Get off your ass. Get off your ass. The reason most of you guys will fail is because you never got started. Okay. And he said like this, Jerome, he said, who's the best baseball player that ever lived? And he went, and I'm sitting back on Babe Ruth, Jackie Robinson, all I'm doing off all rattling all these names. And he goes, wrong, 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 wrong. And I said, who is it? He goes, I don't know. And what do you mean you don't know? And he goes, no one will ever know because the best baseball player that ever lived never stepped up to home plate to be able to go and swing the bat. And truth be told, is the best person that's going to do the best at this is never going to walk up to the plate and buy a lot. Okay. So for the rest of you guys, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. Okay. If you're not an action taker and you go in and you never get shit done, then don't pay attention to this. If you're an action taker and you get shit done, pay attention. Okay. Now, $1 million, $1 million, 3 years, guys. $1 million, less than 3 years. Let's go through this month by month. Let's say it takes you 3 months just to figure out the business model. Let's say you do nothing for 3 months, but just learn for 3 months, guys. Month 1, month 2, month 3, you're just learning where the demographics, the underwriting, the right place for my lot, feeling comfortable, getting warm and fuzzy, just trying to make yourself feel all nice and tingling, going, okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, I'm scared. Okay, oh, can I do this? Can it really work for me? Am I really worthy of doing this? Oh my God, am I doing the right lot? You're sitting back all full of nerves. You're going, okay, I can do this. I can do this. And you yourself go, oh shit, but I'm scared. You go to bed and you have a dream that maybe you're not supposed to. And then you wake up and you're like, okay, but Jerome said I can do it. And then you go back and you talk to your community. Your community, you can do this. You can do this. 3 months of this bullshit, right? But you're learning. You're pouring into yourself. Boom, 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 boom. 3 months to find a lot. Okay. So month 1 through 3, find a lot. Okay. Now, month number 4, you find your lot. Now you go in. The second you find your lot, guys, the friggin' second you find your lot, survey architect, survey architect, survey architect. Boom, you employ them. The second you find that lot, the second you tie up that lot, you onboard them. You don't wait to close on the lot. You use the seller's time. You already have it tied up. It's legally tied up. You're facilitating the purchase, whether it's an owner financing, whether it's a delayed close, whatever it is. You start working with an architect and surveyor. Now, that's going to take you another few, at least a couple months to work with them to get the house right. So they're going to land up going in, platting the house for you. They're going to find a house that fits the business model in that area, and you're going to put them to work. So now month number 3, 4, and 5. Let's say it takes you 3 months to design that house and get that house permit ready. Okay, you got to get a civil engineer. You have to maybe get a structural engineer to stamp it. You got to send out the architecture for truss engineering, and you got to go in and let the architect facilitate about 3 months of work, right? So now we have month number 3, month number 4, month number 5. Okay, 3 months. So month 3 through 5. You're getting permit ready. Maybe you close on the lot through owner financing. in month number 2, 3, whatever it is, or maybe you just do a delayed close. As you guys move into this with brokers, sellers in the same area, you need to start negotiating long-term closes like I do. I don't come out of pocket till I'm ready to build. I'm doing one right now, and one of the realtors came and said, "Hey, Jerome, there's a lot for sale. Do you want it?" And I control the market. She come, I go, "Well, I'm not really in the market for one right now, but if the terms are right, I'll buy it." And she goes, "Okay, what terms?" And I say, "Well, we're just starting some other homes. And if they're willing to work with me, it's going to take me at least 3 months to get my permits. If they work with me on a 3 month close, I'll buy the lot. If they're not willing to and they want a quicker close on it, tell them to put it on the market and go to sale. Doesn't matter to me." And then they came back and said, "Nope, they know you're going to close, Jerome. They just want a good buyer. They're willing to work with you. They'll do a 90-day close." You leverage your reputation as you guys start migrating through this business to make sure that you guys take advantage of that. Now, let's say first home, though, it takes time, right? So now month number 3 through 5, you're getting permit ready. Now, let's say that it takes 3 months of, let's say that you guys go in and it's about 60 days worth of plan review. Now, most municipalities across the United States, you can get permits once you submit within 30 days, 4.5 weeks to 6 weeks. 4 to 6 weeks, you could typically get permits back. There are exceptions to that. When I do stuff in Kirtland, Washington, Seattle, parts in California, it can take several months to do this. So let's talk at the vast majority of 85% of the United States. Like here, I get permits in 2 weeks. I drop them off. 2 weeks later, I'm permit ready. I'm ready to build. Okay. When I go in and I build in Phoenix, same thing. I usually takes me about 3 to 4 weeks in Phoenix or Maricopa County or some of those areas. But some of the more complicated areas, it will take a couple months. So let's just call it 60 days. Okay. So we take 60 days, month number 5, month number 5, month number 6. Okay. Month number 5, month number 6. Okay. So we're going to do plan review. Months 5 through 6. Okay. Now, this is plan review. Now, we're going to build. It's going to take 6 months, guys. It's a 5-month build. You're new. It's going to take you an extra 30 days. You're going to mess shit up. You're going to schedule people all fuck. It's going to be like that. Sorry if you guys have kids on there. I want to get your attention a little bit. I use a little profanity. If you don't like it, you're never going to make it through this anyways. It's okay. Just exit from the webinar. Let's go. I want some serious people that don't mind. They don't have soft skin. They want to make this work, guys. I need people that can make this work. Okay. Now, guys, because I'm at the end of this, guys. I want 5 of you guys that are action takers to come in and start working with us immediately. 5 of you guys that are action takers only to come in and work with us at the end of this. Okay. And so I need people with a little bit of thick skin, some rhino skin, like this right here. Rhino skin. Rhino skin's 2 inches thick. Flies and mosquitoes don't bother rhinos. Okay. Just weak, skinny skin cows. Okay. Rhinos. I need rhinos. Okay. So now, look, guys, bill number 6, month number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So month 6 through 12, we're going to build. Okay. Now, house gets finished 1 year into this. Now, one year into this, let's say it takes 13 months. Let's go 6 through 13. Okay. Let's go 6 through 13. Let's say you screw some stuff up. You get an extra month in there. Now, in month number 13, you're going to list that house for sale. The average home is staying on the market for 27 days. Let's say that it takes you 60 days to sell the house. So that's month number 13 and month number 14. It stays on the market for 2 months. Okay, so sale, we're going to sell house, sell home, months 13 through 14. Okay, now we have to close. And let's say it takes another 45 days to close. That's month number 14, month number 15. So we're going to be at month number 16 by the time we cash out. So month close on the house is going to be month 16. We're going to close. This is where we make our money, right? 160K. Yes? Does that sound reasonable? Does that sound reasonable, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, that sounds reasonable. Okay. So we go in 160K, month number 16. That's a long time, guys. That's a long time. That's okay. It's your first bill. So if you're barely getting cashing out month 16, it's okay. Once you start working with us, guys, and you're part of our inner community, here's what's cool: is those 5 people that are going to come in and start working with us immediately. Once you're part of our inner circle and you're working with us, One time, guys. One time. You invest in yourself one time, you work with us forever. You're part of our community forever. No renewal, no none of that bullshit. You guys come in, we're building a community. We're building a fucking army. A fucking army. That's what we're building. A fucking army of investors and a fucking army of people that are going out and building this shit. That's what I'm building. A fucking army. Okay, now if you guys want to be a part of that fucking army, then let me know. But I'm looking for 5 people. I'm looking for 5 captains today. 5, ladies and gentlemen, 5. Okay. And then for the rest of you guys, you're going to come into our community too. All right. A little slower, but that's okay. And I'm going to invite all of you guys. Every one of you guys is going to get an invite to come spend the full day with me in Dallas at the end of this. Even if you're not one of those 5, everybody has an opportunity to come in and spend a full day with me in Dallas in June. Okay. Now, let's look at this, guys. Month number 16. Okay. We're barely at 160K. But what we're going to do at month number 16, when we cash out right away, what are we going to do? We're going to start 2 homes, guys. 2 homes. Okay. So we're going to start 2 homes. Month 16, 2 homes. Okay. Now, 2 homes, month number 16. You don't start looking for land over here. You start looking for land the second that you start building this house. So right here, ladies and gentlemen, you start going in and you tie up 2 lots. Okay. 2 lots. Okay, you're going to tie them up. You're going to go, Mr. Broker, my build's going. I'm excited. I'm going to tie up 2 more lots because what I'm going to do is I'm not going to spend this money. You don't go out and buy yourself a vacation, a fancy car, a Rolex, none of that bullshit. You know what you do with that money? You collateralize it against 2 builds with a bank. Now, if you go in, the bank's not looking at it as like, hey, it's going to cost you 490 times 2. They're going to go in and say, hey, how many payments will that make for us? So if you divide that out by like a $1,500 payment a month for 2 houses, that's a lot of freaking payments for interest reserve. So the bank's going to collateralize that money. You're not going to pay taxes on it, guys. And this isn't capital gains. This is ordinary income. This is ordinary income, ladies and gentlemen. Ordinary income, not capital gains. Okay. You don't pay taxes on it because, like I explain to people, when you're in a business and you're like buying food for a restaurant, when you buy food, that's a tax write-off. When you pay labor, that's a tax write-off. When you're building homes as a business, you're going to take this money, collateralize it. When you buy more lumber, more roofing material, instead of paying taxes, you have more expenses. You went from 1 to 2. You're doubling down your expenses. If you have expenses, how do you have? You don't have money left. You write it all off. Okay. Now you are building a tax liability over the course of time, and I'll show you guys how to take advantage of that here in just a little bit. Okay, and how to offset that. Now we go in. Right here, we land up going in and we tie up 2 lots. We get to this point. Now we start working through plan review, permits. We start working through all of this stuff. You take like $3,000 to $5,000 from your construction loan for this to go in and start tying up these lots and start working on architecture, engineering, and stuff for these next 2 builds. Now, what you do over here is you start working on permits, plan review, and now if it takes you for month number 6, let's say you don't have to worry about the first 3 months now. You already found the area. So now that's month number 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 4 months. So now we go from month number 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we're in month number 10. At month number 10, you're ready to build these things. You're permit ready. Now all you're waiting to do is have your cash in. You cash in on this date, month number 16, boom, right away, you break ground 2 homes. It costs you no more time and no more money to do 2 homes than did 1. In fact, the biggest complaint you guys will have is you'll sit back and go, damn, Jerome, I wish I would have done 2 right away. I felt like I waste my time. You're right. It doesn't take as much time as I thought it was going to take to do 1 home. Now, when you do 2, it takes the exact same amount of time to build 2 homes as it does 1. Okay. So you go in month number 16. It's going to take 6 months to build those 2 homes. So month number 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay. So month number 16 through 21, you're going to build. Okay. Okay. So you're going to build the house. Now, you're going to get to month 21. It's going to take you 60 days to find a buyer. Month number 21, 22. Okay. So month number 21, 22, 23. So month number 23, sell 2. Okay. Now, if it takes you another 60 days, month number 23, 24, you're going to cash in on month number 25 on your houses. Okay. So month 25, you're going to have 320K and add these together. That's 480K. Month number 25. Okay. Now, what do we do at month number? What do we do at month number 16 when we start building these houses? We start building these houses. What do we do, ladies and gentlemen? Don't hire a GC yet. Once you get over 4 homes a year, you could build 4 homes a year. Right now, guys, I'm building 4 homes a year, and I have no superintendents right now. I got rid of the building part of our company for the single family homes about 4 years ago. I wasn't going to build anymore. So I'm building homes now for you guys to document the process. I have my superintendents for my concrete company. But if you guys watch, guys, I'm showing up to the job like 3-4 times a week. And I just show up for like 30-40 minutes. And they're 5 minutes from my house. So I just show up to go look at if the house is being built. I show up for a few minutes. I do have my admin in the office making some phone calls for me to schedule subs, but even the subs don't call them back. They call me back because I'm the one in the relationship with them. But yet I still have all the time to go in and build these guys. This is a $70 million build. Now I have a full staff on this, guys. Like this is fully cocked staff. Like this is fully anchored, guys. Okay, for like West Camelback, Rio Rancho, that's fully staffed. This, guys, is simple. You could do this shit with your eyes closed after you do a couple of them. Okay, don't do them with your eyes closed though, please, because you'll end up jacking yourself up. Okay, now we have $420,000, $480,000. You don't go buy a car, you don't go out and you don't buy a Rolex, you don't do it. Go take your wife to dinner, or wives take your husbands to dinner, or just find a damn date and just take someone to dinner, right? And go eat at a nice restaurant. Go get yourself a nice restaurant, go eat, celebrate for one night, go, yeah, I friggin' rock, I'm a badass MF, and go rock a dinner, man. And then get your ass back to work. You haven't made it yet, guys. You're still broke. You have 480K, but you're better off today than you were 25 months ago. Okay. Now, you're better off than you were 25 months ago. Now, when you do that, ladies and gentlemen, you take this 480 and you go to Mr. Banker, Mr. Banker, Mr. Banker. I'm going to do 4 of these bad boys. Month number 16, you go to that broker and you say, Mr. Broker, Mrs. Broker, I want 4 lots. 4 lots. 4. Okay. You go in, you tie 4 lots. You say, but I want them on my terms. I want them contingent on me selling them, but I'm a buyer. Now I'm going to go in, I'm going to buy 4 lots. Okay. Now you're going to go in, you get a line of credit to build 4 homes, a line of credit, not a construction loan on 4 homes. Now you're going to collateralize this against a line of credit to go in and build 4 homes. Now you're an OG. You're a gangster now. Now you got some bankroll. Okay. Banks are willing to talk to you about lines of credit for your business. So now you go in, you collateralize that against 4 builds. You don't pay your taxes because you're going to build 4. You're taking 2 to build 4. You're going to expense all that stuff. Now, I'm not an accountant. I'm not a CPA. So don't listen to what I'm telling you guys here. Talk to your CPA, talk to your accountant, and let them know that you want to expense this in. You want to delay your taxes. You might get some penalties and interest. That's okay. You're going to make more doing it this way than not. Now, I'm going to teach you guys at the end. How many of you guys learn how to see how to do this without paying any taxes at all, legally? I'll show you that right at the end of this video. Okay, now, check this out, guys. 480, you guys tie up the lots at month number 16. Right here, you tie up 4. Okay, now you're going to do 4 homes. You go through this entitlement process over here. So now, by the time you get to the end of the build in month 21, you're permit ready on your other houses. Now you're just waiting to sell the houses. Once you sell them, boom, you do 4 homes, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's going to take you a little bit longer to sell them and build them. Let's call it 7 months. So you take month number 25, 25, 26, month number 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Okay. So month number 31. So month number 25 to 31, you're building 4. Now, not only are you building 4, you're leveraging your subcontractors to now give you discounts. Maybe just $1,000 off of each trade. Multiply that times 20 trades. That's $20,000 on top of that you're making more because now you're doing volume. And now you want your contractors to work with you because you're providing them with food on their table. So now you start actually making more money. But let's say that it's just $160,000. and we go in month 25 to 31. Your drywall guys might be finishing house number 2 to get to house number three to get to house number 4. So now it's time to start picking up multiple contractors, but still, you might not be able to find the right contractors in that amount of time, right? So you have to wait for them. So it's going to hold you back. You're going to take 7 months instead of 6 to build 4, but you can still manage these on your own, ladies and gentlemen. Once you get over 4, hire an admin to help you. Once you get over 6, hire an admin and a superintendent. Okay. Now, 4 homes, you're still managing it. You're doing this on your own. How many of you guys would love to have a spreadsheet that helped you guys step by step, sequence through sequence? How many of you guys would think it would be helpful to know the sequence of events? Any of you guys? How many of you guys would love to have a spreadsheet my dad and I put together when I built my first house? A spreadsheet that went step by step, sequence through sequence, every step of the build, and you were able to just take an Excel spreadsheet that's already built for you. And all you had to do was plug in numbers. You're like, oh, roofing, $18,000. Foundation, $30,000. Lumber package, $40,000. Framers, $20,000. How many of you guys like to just plug in a number and you just open up an Excel spreadsheet and you click on save, XYZ build, and then you just plug in a number? How many people think that would be valuable? Anybody? How many of you guys think that'd be valuable? Yeah, everybody, guys. I'll give that to you guys today. All of you guys, the 5 people that come in and work with us, I'm going to give that to you guys. Plus everybody that goes to Dallas, I'm going to give that to you guys for free as well. Okay. I'm just going to throw that in for you guys now, because that's a resource tool that's really going to help you guys. And then I'm going to give you guys these PDFs that teaches you guys about punch lists and checklist items for all of you guys. How many of you guys like to have like a kitchen walkthrough list and like a blue tape walkthrough list where you guys go in at the end and just do all that stuff? How many people think that'd be super valuable? I just put that together, by the way. I'm going to give it to all of you guys that are working with us as part of this for free. They come in and work with us. Okay, now, month over to 25 through 31. Okay, now it's going to take us probably 3 months to sell these homes. You got a few extra homes. They're not all going to sell at one time. So month number 31, 31, 32, 33. Okay, so month 31 through 33, sell. Now we're going to take month number 33, 34, just 60 days to close. So month number 35, cash in. Four homes, $160,000. That's 4 times 160. That equals 640. Plus the 480, that's 1,120K. Right? Yeah, 1,120K. Okay. That's net. Okay, now I promised you guys something, and that's how you not pay taxes. Guys, now go buy a car. Go buy yourself a $60,000 BMW. Go buy yourself a badass pickup truck like mine. Pay $110,000 for a sweet pickup truck. That's it, guys. Finance it though. Write the damn thing off. Okay? But don't do anything more than that. Now get your ass back to work. And now let's say you guys just built 4 homes a year for the rest of your life. How many of you guys would love to be able to make that type of income of 640K a year for the rest of your life, building 4 homes a year? Not a bad income. Not a bad income. But here's what's even better. I tell you guys, resume up into something long-term. Resume up into multifamily, into commercial assets. And here's why. Because if you go out and you just build a little 8-plex, let's say that 8-plex is worth about $300,000 per door. So you do 8 times 300. That's equal to $2.4 million, guys. $2.4 million on a brand new 8-plex. Now, an 8-plex is no harder than building these homes. Now, if you guys go out and do that, you have a $2.4 million, or you buy an 8-plex. You don't even have to build it, just go buy it. And if it's worth $2.4 million, ladies and gentlemen, you can't write off the land. So let's say the land's worth $300,000. So that's $2.1 million. You could take 80% on bonus depreciation in today's world of the $2.1 million in the first year. So you take $2,100,000 times 0.8, $1.68 million tax write-off through cost segregation, guys. Depreciation of commercial asset. You only made $1.12 million. So you can write off 100% of that. 100% of that can get written off. You'll pay zero in taxes. Now, I'm not a cost segregation professional. I just know what we do and what we pay our CPAs to do for us. So you can go in and thereabouts, you might be able to write that off. And you have $1.6 million tax write-off. The rest of it never expires. You can use that to the next year and roll it over. And then what you're going to want to do is now you're going to sit back and go, damn, what happens with the next money I make? Go resume up, go to a 12 unit, go to a 15 unit, go to a 20 unit. Okay.